Hi, welcome back for another Star Trek Starships collection review. This time it is one of the specials, the USS Vengeance from Star Trek Into Darkness. So we have our magazine, and we have our ship in the box, and we'll put this aside, and let's talk about the magazine for a while. So here it is, the magazine. Image of the ship on the cover. Let's see. It was considered to be a Dreadnought class, launched in 2259 in the alternate timeline. It is 1,459 meters long and has type 7 phasers. Turn the page. Have our usual setup on how to mount the ship to the stand, as well as the specifications, some of which I've just read on the cover. It was constructed around Lo, which is one of Jupiter's moons. It was again launched in 2259. It was commanded by Admiral Alexander Marcus as part of a division of Section 31. And again, it has Type 7 phaser drones and photon torpedoes. Turn the page and we have a wonderful image of the ship there, along with some text about it. And we skip ahead, or rather turn the page, to the designing of the Vengeance. Since this ship only appeared once, there really isn't a whole lot of information about it. And it was actually kind of shrouded in mystery. So even in the movie, we didn't really get to see much about it. So there really isn't a whole lot of text in this magazine about it. So yeah, again, it's a big image of the ship there. I think this is a screenshot from the movie. And you can see the conceptual artwork, the design process, along with some text accompanying those pictures. More conceptual art there, and more text about it. From what I've read in this magazine, the idea is that they wanted to have something bigger than the Enterprise, and they wanted something to be more menacing and more dark. So, we turn the page, and we have more artwork and more text. And here's a section about the designing of the Vengeance Bridge. More conceptual artwork. And it's kind of not really a blueprint or even a centerfold page, but it kind of shows you where a few things are. And this talks about the weapons and the things that we didn't get to see it do in the movie. And more artwork, but actually from a scene that actually happened in the film, there on the top. And we have the back of the magazine with the Vengeance on it. So that's our magazine. Again, it doesn't really have much in it. This ship was only seen once in one movie, the Star Trek Into Darkness, which was the last Star Trek movie. And as I said, there really isn't a whole lot of information about it. So, and they didn't really explain it. It was just a ship that they just wanted to be the villain or the main protagonist or the main enemy of the film. So that was that. And at the end, it crashed into the bay, San Francisco Bay. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a spoiler if I did. But so yeah, that's the USS Vengeance. It looks kind of sort of Federation, but it's not in a way. It has been said that one of the inspirations and design of the Vengeance came from the fact that this is the Federation's way of acting out of paranoia after the events of the 2009 film, in which the Romulan Nero from the Prime timeline in the future went back in time and destroyed Vulcan, and so that made the Federation abandon some of its, so let's just say, principles or some of its ideals, and wanted to become more militaristic in an attempt to protect themselves from future threats like that. So, and so that's the Vengeance was kind of born out of the ashes of that, and so it was a more aggressive ship, more focused on combat and armory and power and defense, as opposed to exploration like other Starfleet vessels. So yeah, let's get to the ship now. Got the big box. Like all the Eaglemoss Star Trek specials, these come in bigger boxes. It has the disclaimer, do not eat, not big enough for little people, all these other kind of things. You have the Star Trek logo, more Star Trek logos from the series, and a big image of the ship on top. Oh, and the Starfleet Delta at the bottom. So let's open this thing up. Take the white styrofoam, they all come like this. And here is the USS Vengeance. First impressions. This thing is humongous. Pretty big. Like the JJ Prize that came out several months ago. This is about to be the size of it. And primarily here, the model is metal here in the saucer section, and the plastic is in the Star Drive engineering section, and then the cells are also plastic. They did a pretty good job of this, considering it only appeared once. You can see the little lighting, the blue on the warp nacelles there, and I believe you could see some blue in the back there in the warp nacelle area, in the back of the nacelles. See them? And this is the front of the ship. It's a bad ship, huh? Well, at least it was in the movie. As I said, it looks very much like a Starfleet ship in shape only. But as far as paint and markings and all of that, it looks nothing like a Starfleet ship. If anything, it looks more like a submarine in many ways. And yeah, I mean, it looks cool. There's your deflector dish right there, which is also blue, so they did a good job on that. And got all these various torpedo and phaser and shield generators and probe launchers and all these other kind of strange things that are included on this model. So they did a good job. It would have been neat if they had that little door that kind of goes back and forth to cover and open the deflector dish. But that's really no big deal, because I'm glad they just left it open instead of closed like the Hot Wheels model did. So as you can see, it kind of has this see-through part of the ship. The bridge is located here at the top in this little round section there. But anyway, overall this is a really cool ship. I'm glad I got it. It's no secret that I am not a fan of the movie in which this ship appeared in, nor the 2009 film, although as a Star Trek fan I am grateful that it made Trek more popular for the masses, and it's more accepting than it was several years ago when I was growing up. And so for that I am grateful, and I am grateful that we're seeing a lot more Trek out there. And obviously without that, I'm sure Eaglemoss wouldn't have done this collection. So I am grateful for that. And because I am a completist and, you know, obviously a major Star Trek fan, that's why I get all the ships, whether I like the ships or the episodes or the films they appeared in or not. And this is one of those examples. I was kind of hoping that for the specials they would do more things like space stations or some star bases or some of the other ships instead of doing the JJ films. But from what I've heard and read and been told, one of the conditions that Eaglemoss was that had to deal with is the fact that they have to do the JJ ships as part of the collection, and so they wanted to have to do the JJ ships as for the specials. So I think the next one will be the Klingon bird of prey from the same film, Star Trek Into Darkness. So that ought to be interesting when it comes. But this is cool. I'm glad I have it. It looks nice. And when I can get the time and the space, really I'm working on that, I will find a proper way to display it. But here's another look at the model. Looks great there. Starboard side, top, got the underneath, got your frontal view there, and our aft view. Oh yeah, and the impulse engines even kind of light up with the blue. That's kind of neat. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is the USS Vengence. The next special that I'll be receiving will be the aforementioned Klingon bird of prey from the same movie. So I look forward to getting that. So thank you, Eaglemoss, for doing this. If you're a fan of Star Trek, obviously take a look at this. If you're a casual fan and you were introduced to the Star Trek franchise thanks to the J.J. Abrams films, and you liked what you saw and heard, then I would definitely go and pick this up. If you're a Star Trek fan and you love the Abrams films anyway, then pick this up. If you are not a fan of the J.J. Abrams films, then this is not for you. If you're a Trekkie who's a completist like me, then again, pick this up. It's a very nice model. I'm not a fan of the ship, again, as I've said, but it is a very nice model, and that has nothing to do with Eaglemoss at all, being the fact that I don't like the ship. But yeah, kudos to them for doing it, and I'm grateful. So yeah, so next time I think I'll be doing the Star Trek Starships Collection issue number 39, which I believe is the Romulan drone, which I believe just came in today. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.